What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Six-Man Blitz episode. Before you continue with this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Help us get where we want to go, with engagement, viewer-wise and stuff. And make sure to stay updated with our content. We got great content that's coming out every week. Just make sure to, stay updated with it. But one thing I saw today, Dan Orlowski was on the Pat McAfee show. He came out and said he's not a reporter, by the way. He made sure to clarify that. But some source told him, Bill Belichick is reportedly going to be coaching somewhere else, coaching and being a GM somewhere else. And the location's already determined. What do you think about this? It's the Chicago Bears, isn't it?
It's got to be Las Vegas, right?
The Raiders or the Chargers?
The Raiders. Las Vegas.
Tomato, damn.
So I think that's the best place. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, Tom knowing. They already tried to get from Belichick tree with my man's
McDaniels.
So-
that was a failure.
Al Davis. Like that's a very Al Davis move. I could definitely see that happen.
I could see it too. Yeah, you look at this Bills team too. ESPN, they were doing their thing, talking about Josh Allen, him as a quarterback, his whole career. He's led the NFL in turnovers every year. Isn't that crazy? Since he came into the league.
Yeah.
I looked at the graphic. It said every year since he came out of Wyoming, he's led the NFL in turnovers. And this year he leads the NFL right now in interceptions. People want to talk about Dak, but really people don't really talk about Josh Allen and how much he turns over the ball, unless it's like, all right, we're in the playoffs and he had a bad stinker performance and he turned over the ball. But you see it like it's no longer a coincidence, The first game was against the Jets, 3 interceptions. This game against the Broncos defense, all right, one ball was like a tip pass, and it was, Gabe Davis didn't hold on to it. But still, this shit has happened so many times. We can't look past it. Josh Allen, this is what he's doing consistently. It's the wrong thing you want to do as a quarterback. And does it change your opinion on him? People want to say Mahomes versus Allen. That's the new Brady versus Manning. Does that change your mind about, Josh Allen and how you view him with these turnovers and what he's done?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you look at how he was able to perform with Dayball, albeit he had the turnovers, but it seemed like it was a little bit more in check. And the ratio was just way better. So the fact that he's throwing interceptions instead of touchdowns, that's alarming.
Yes.
And I think it's just the simple fact of them just always having to rely on him and for him to make the big play all the time and for him to have the confidence to think he can make every throw, regardless of what defense gives him. It's kind of coming to a head at this point. So
yeah.
The offensive coordinator firing, I think, was just because we just got to get something. Something's got to change here. And there you could just see the impact Dayball has left leaving there.
Mm-hmm. And people were saying, like, all right, fire Sean McDermott, bring in Dayball to be the coach next year, which is interesting. But, do you think the Giants would even move on from Dayball after this year? I mean, it's a bad season, but and even still with Dayball, Josh Allen was struggling. He was still throwing interceptions.
Yeah, but they were still winning games.
Yeah, they were winning
and
games.
Their defense isn't as good as it's been just with the injuries.
No Leslie Frazier either.
No Leslie Frazier. That's a great point. But Sean McDermott is a defensive head coach.
Yes.
So that shouldn't have as big of an impact as one would think.
Yeah.
But even him, he looks flustered out there. Like he was very just out of sorts. You could just
12 men on the field.
Yeah, man, that's ugly, and a lot of that falls on coaching. The amount of turnovers we've seen, the issues with the penalties. I mean, they go all out blitz 2 plays in a row. Obviously, Russell is smart enough to make the adjustments.
He's done it before,
and the fact that they get the PI, that's kind of guaranteed because if you really just need to get the ball out and let your receiver win the matchup.
Yeah,
with those all-out blitz scenarios. So, I mean, the coaching was definitely questionable, and they literally gave the Broncos the game. The
Literally.
Broncos weren't trying
They
to
missed a field goal too.
Right.
If it wasn't for that 12-man penalty, people are gonna say it was all on DeMar
And they missed
Hamlin.
the extra point.
Yeah.
They missed the extra point. It would have been a tie game if we wouldn't have been asked. That wouldn't have been as big of a concern.
You give yourself a break like that because you get out like the Broncos. The smart thing about them, coaching wise, they had that shit ready. They had their field goal team sprint out there
multiple times.
They were ready for that situation. They missed a field goal, but being ready in the situation sometimes gives you opportunities like this. The Buffalo having 12 men on the field because they didn't have the same preparation and then coaching. But I'm like, wow, the Broncos. This is them getting victories like this against the Chiefs and the Bills is a testament of Sean Payton being their head coach now. At first, earlier on the year, we're like, all right, is he even going to be able to turn things around? But him being there now, Russell Wilson, he's playing to their strengths. You see the run game. He benefited from the run game. That's really what won him the matchup between me and him fantasy this week. Javonte Williams had a pretty good game.
They involved him in the pass game, which I love.
Pete Ryan too.
Ryan eats in the pass game.
Yeah. So running the ball, really, what they've been doing, running the ball, playing defense well. That's what we've seen great Saints teams do over the years.
They've been pass blocking pretty well as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Lost some weight. He's able to wiggle a little bit more. Javonte Williams is getting healthier. So I think anytime there's a huge change, like a coaching change, a culture change, it takes time to build that. And one offseason isn't enough time. You need clearly that time to build it. And then every situation is different. So Sean Payton coming in, not seeing the success, but as time is building up, everybody's starting to get more bought in.
Yeah.
Guys are getting healthier. Receivers are starting to perform that have been questionable their whole tenure. Cortland Sutton looks great. And I'm excited. I'm a fan at this point. I'm bought in.
I like the Broncos. Yeah, I like when they're good.
Yeah. And I like Russ is playing well. I mean,
18 touchdowns so far. He's playing better than he was last. Like his numbers are better already, touchdown wise, than they were last season. So that's just a testament of him and this team buying in, Sean Payton changing things. So with the Bills and the Broncos, they're in similar situations. I think they both have 5 losses.
Right.
Which team you see getting in the playoffs between the two? Broncos have an easier schedule. Bills got the Eagles, Dolphins.
Right.
They got the Cowboys too. They got a crazy schedule coming up.
Right.
So which team you see getting in the playoffs better?
Man, that's tough. You could just definitely see which way both of them are trending, and it's kind of in different directions. So I want to lean Broncos, but at the same time, I can't see the Bills not figuring it out. They still have Josh Allen, still got Stephon Diggs, and they still have a talented defense. So
yeah.
With that being said, I'm going to have to go with the Bills, but I'm not confident in either one of them getting in.
I'm not
Especially
either.
when you got the Bengals still viable.
The Browns, the Texans.
The Texans now. And so
you got a lot of teams in the AFC, and the Bills.
There's a lot of teams. The AFC is just better than the NFC. Mm-hmm. And there's just a lot of teams that are at 4 and 5 and even 3 and 6 compared to the NFC where we got Cardinals.
The Bears are still in the hunt, believe it or not, at 3 and 7.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, if those teams were in the NFC, they'd have a better chance. But it's just a nightmare in the AFC, which causes even more concern for the Bills because it's like y'all gonna be on the outside looking in. The AFC is too loaded. There's too many good teams.
There's no margin of error. You can't lose 5. You can't lose the game to the Broncos. You can't lose that opening night against the Jets. There isn't that margin of error this year where, this team, the Bills, consistently a playoff team. They win their division. No, you got the Dolphins that are out there playing at a high level, looking like the favorite to win that division. The Jets even are going to get Aaron Rodgers back. They still got 5 losses too.
And
Rodgers.
I don't think it makes sense for Rodgers to try to push through with that offensive line. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It don't make sense.
It's gonna get hurt.
He's not gonna be mobile.
He gets the ball out quick though. But it's just ironic though. the first, second play, he got sacked. Tore his Achilles, so it didn't fucking matter how quick he got that shit out.
And he didn't get it out that fast, that play.
That's ironic. But so if the Bills miss the playoffs, do you see them moving on from Sean McDermott?
I think you got to bring in an offensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
Honestly, we've maximized this partnership. Like, the highs are behind us. We are trending. It was like
we're trending down
any hill, right? We're going down the hill at this point,
especially next year.
And we can't afford to have an unhappy Stephon Diggs as well as Josh. Just not using maximizing Josh Allen's prime, especially when you got Burrow and Mahomes. And now
Rodgers
in the division, Stroud and shit.
Yeah, so it's not looking good. You can't go backwards, already. Like, and it's crazy because low key, like they could have their Super Bowl window could be done. Their Super Bowl window could be done. It's crazy.
I don't think so. Anytime you got just Josh Allen, you gonna have a window at some because players are gonna want to play with him, and the defense is still loaded. So I don't think it's past their window at all. It's just
the teams are getting better.
The coaching clearly needs to be changed.
Yeah. They need to get a new offensive mind. Hopefully, see if Leslie Frazier wants to come back because, defensively, he would have some of those mistakes they've been making this year. He would have been fixed them. But we talked about the AFC East and, that division, the Bills, talking about the Broncos' success. Let's go over to the the AFC North. Who do you think wins this division, bro?
Man, this is really tough. I would have thought like the Bengals would have had a legit shot just because they looked unbeatable the last couple weeks. And then Burrow looks like Burrow. And then even after this week, I think we're just still seeing some of the same Raven mistakes that we've gone accustomed to. Those
couple mistakes at the end of the game.
Leads. I just can't stand that shit.
Yeah.
Good teams put motherfuckers away.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that 2 weeks in a row. And it's a division game. But we see these games happen like this consistently. Mm-hmm. So I don't think the Browns are going to be able to do it.
They look good, though, against the Ravens this week. They look good. Deshaun was vintage Deshaun.
They do look good. However, I don't think they got the same type of firepower without Nick Chubb that, say, Baltimore does with Lamar as being the X factor.
And that new running back, Keaton Mitchell, too.
For sure. He's blew up. I'm salty I didn't get him in waivers.
Somebody got his ass licked back, probably.
I think Tevin did.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah, I was trying to trade Tevin. If you're seeing this, bro, accept that trade. Was it that 40-year-old virgin? Don't be a nigga, be my nigga. But no, yeah. So Baltimore, that game against the Browns, I still think they're one of the best teams in the AFC. You can't make mistakes like that. I trust the defense. Lamar, offensively, they're still figuring things out. But it's just so weird to me how you can blow out every NFC team and then you get in those division games, it's 50-50.
Right.
Even with the Steelers, too. They lost the Steelers game.
Exactly.
Receivers were dropping all those fucking passes. Lamar had an interception, too. So, that shit can't happen if you're one of the better teams in the league, you know?
Mm-hmm. And I think Baltimore wins it just with Burrow taking that L against the Texans.
They're behind the pack right now, too.
Right.
Losses.
I think Baltimore ends up taking the division. One team we didn't mention was the Steelers and how they've just been putting wins together.
They've been outgained in every game.
They're a team that can finish and win and come from behind and win with the old school principles. So
right.
Don't turn and the run of the ball well, actually.
Extremely well.
If they can have that, they could be dangerous. But I only see Baltimore being the clear-cut favorite outside of just a bad loss last week that kind of got a sour taste in my mouth, honestly.
So this week, though, they play the Bengals Thursday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this game? What are your predictions for this game? Which team's gonna bounce back? Because essentially, the Bengals lost to the Texans. The Ravens, they lost to the Browns. Which team's gonna bounce back? Because the Bengals, they need to win this fucking game.
Yeah,
Ravens too,
and they need their offense to outperform Baltimore's offense because I don't think their defense is going to be able to hold up, and it's going to be a similar game like Houston where they got to score
Yes.
back to back.
And they got Trey Hendrickson. He's going to be out too.
Oh yeah,
potentially because he just had like a extended knee or something like that.
Right. So that's a huge loss for them. Pass rush wise, I don't know how deep they are. Pause. But Baltimore's just loaded as fuck. They got one of the most talented offenses in the league.
Yes.
And they've
and it hasn't reached its ceiling yet.
Like he's getting back healthy, which is great to see for the sport.
Yeah, he hit that touchdown.
So he's got back-to-back weeks with Tuds. And their defense is dominant. Now, it's cool. Obviously, it looks like they gave up, 33 points. 7 of those came from the offense. So it's not a terrible game by them, but they weren't as dominant as they should have been, in my opinion. And so if Burrow can light them up, much like
he's done in a couple weeks. He what did he put up, like 400 yards passing that one time against the Ravens, not too like a couple seasons ago. So he usually has the Ravens number.
So I think it'll be a shootout. So it's going to come down to who's the better offense.
Okay. Who are you taking in the game though? If you had to predict, it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Both are coming off losses. Both are coming off a short week. Both are coming off heartbreak losses that they're going to be really motivated. This division game.
Trying to get their leg back.
Lamar hasn't had success against Burrow recently.
No.
Obviously, they ended their playoff hopes. Which was wild.
It was a really good fucking game though.
They almost won
that game. They're winning that game.
Oh, without a doubt.
And the defensively, they were able to do some things against Burrow and cause him to make more mistakes than he usually does. So defensively, I think the Ravens will be able to be in this game. It's going to come down to Lamar. Are you going to make those turnovers? Are you going to throw those interceptions? Or are you going to be out there playing like we know you can play?
Right. And that's one thing about Burrow. He's going to keep coming.
Yes.
Even in that Texan game, it looked like they put them away.
Yeah.
They came back.
It was Stroud at the end.
Up at one point. So, yeah. It
was the defense.
Burrow ain't going, and I got faith in him, but at the same time, I don't have as much faith in their defense as I've had in recent years. I've always thought they had an underrated defense, but
defense is pretty solid.
Nah, they gave up. CJ Stroud toasted.
Let their ass up.
So Lamar gonna toast their ass too.
Okay. So you got Ravens?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna take Ravens too. It's gonna be a good Thursday night football matchup.
Mm-hmm.
It's the beginning of a good string of Thursday night football matchups. I think next week we have Seattle versus the 49ers. It's gonna be a good game. So I like the Ravens to win this game. Let's move towards your quarterback, Trevor Lawrence and the Jags.
Man.
Now, they just got booty clapped by the 49ers. It wasn't good. It was that Shaq Kevin Hart meme where he's humping him on the car. That's what it was. 34-3. Trevor Lawrence got sacked 5 times, threw 2 interceptions. So this year, what he has, like 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Like, it's the same thing with Josh Allen. Are you concerned by his performances? How does this affect how you view him and this Jags team?
So it definitely raises an eyebrow. I think they've been able to string together a lot of wins, and they just had a great record. But you never took a look at who they played.
Yeah, they beat Buffalo though. But we just talked about how Buffalo is,
right? Exactly. So, and they beat Buffalo over
in London.
The pond.
They're undefeated in London. If the Super Bowl's in London, they're winning that shit.
I could see them moving the team out to London.
Yeah.
Totally, and that could be kind of what they're kind of doing is just building a fan base of Jacksonville fans. But to answer your question, it's frustrating, man. I don't even know what to believe at this point in the season for them. They were winning with defense and running the ball, and Burrow never. Trevor Lawrence never had. He has an embarrassment of riches. We thought Calvin really fell off the earth.
I have him on a lot of leagues. I was like, this is the steal.
I wanted to get him too. People were hyping him up, and I was hyping.
I was
Trevor
like,
Lawrence
him and Garrett. I was
an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
So it's just been very disappointing as a Trevor Lawrence fantasy owner. I don't got it.
About to jump off the
out,
bridge and shit.
he's lost my trust, so he's on my bench until further notice.
He's a Josh Dobbs guy now.
Sure.
That guy's starting over Trevor Lawrence this week. Then, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a baller, and he's proven that. He's a top 10 quarterback in fantasy this year.
It's crazy
on 2 different teams. Who the fuck can say that?
Nobody. It's just crazy because like, when's the last time you've seen like a quarterback get traded at the deadline too? Like somebody trading for a quarterback mid-season to make a move happen, and a quarterback that's starting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a unique situation because he was never going to be the long-term guy. He was going to be that fill-in before Kyler was fully healthy, and you could see what and why.
Yeah,
see why.
Kyler thick self. He different for sure. But no, he's a good player. But so the Jags, you think they can bounce back and they'll get back where they need to be? You like, or
I'm holding out hope. I'm not gonna drop his ass as I should. I think this game will be a wake up call for him, and hopefully get in the lab and start cooking. So maybe I will start. What do you think?
I'd start Dobbs. Dobbs going against Denver's defense. I don't know. I don't know if you start Dobbs this week. You might want to start Lawrence.
Denver's decent. Dobbs is known for some good turnovers too.
Yeah, but no, he's pretty solid. But bigger question: Texans look good. Texans are 5-4, 6-4. They're right around that range. Could you see them competing in this division and possibly trying to win the division?
No question.
Who are you taking then? Jags and Texans.
Man, this is tough. I want to say the Jags just because they've been there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
They got a playoff win under their belt, and I trust Doug Peterson, but the tape don't lie, man.
It don't.
Texans look fantastic.
Defensively, too, they're solid.
CJ looks like a potential great in this league. Doing shit we've never even seen a rookie do. Like, he is dissecting defenses.
15 touchdowns,
and he is so deadly accurate with his ball placement and moving guys with his eyes and just throwing that with touch and accuracy and velocity. It's all he's just like the perfect pocket quarterback. And then you add the running game. I was mad as fuck when he scored that rushing touchdown late in the game. I thought I had an easy dub.
Yeah.
He started taking off.
Because he just threw that interception too.
So. Right. So, I mean, they're going to be dangerous. And then you also add the fact that they already beat Jacksonville.
Yes.
So if they sweep them, they're going to win the division. I think that's
they're going to beat Tennessee too. They got Tennessee.
And you look at their wins. I mean, shit, what they did to Burrow, that's bananas.
The Buccaneers,
that's
cooked them.
Insane.
Who else did he cook? He cooked somebody else. Oh, he cooked the Jags. Yeah, earlier in the year.
I got to see what they look like against maybe a better defensive team as well, but because their defense still is putting them into shootouts, even though they were getting timely turnovers on Sunday. So, man, they're definitely going to compete, but I think I'm leaning Jags still.
Okay.
Just because, at some point the rookie's
he's got to come down.
A rookie, right? He's not a
different rookie.
He's not an AI quarterback.
So you got another guy that we're going to talk about that affects your guy, Justin Jefferson, receiver. Joshua Dobbs. He's been playing at a high level.
Yes.
We're talking about potentially you starting him, but
ain't no potential.
This guy, he's good. Yeah. Is it next Geno Smith, or you guys want to say better?
No.
Geno Smith had a good. Well, I mean, like
Geno Smith's a pocket passer, bro. This guy can create with his legs.
I'm talking about as the story, like Geno Smith, backup quarterback.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
He come back and find a starting role.
For sure.
I agree. You think he could be a starting quarterback next year with some other team?
Well, look at what they're doing these last 2 games. I mean, he's created a dynamic into their offense they've never had with the weapons they have. So you imagine his extending the playability.
Yeah.
With Justin Jefferson, who he's already always wide open. Like, imagine if he if he sees Dobbs scrambling, he just plants his foot and just goes straight to the line.
Yeah.
And they just, how many touchdowns that's going to equate to that Kirk Cousins didn't have the ability to make, especially against defenses with great pass rushes, i.e. the Eagles and the Niners.
That was something he did good at Tennessee that I forgot about. He was a pretty good quarterback in college. When he was at Tennessee, he was really good at
absolutely.
running.
So, and he's obviously a genius off the field. So I think the ability to process and not have the moment as big as it needs to, and then go out there and dominate a good Saints defense. Like, let's be
really
honest,
good. They're
solid.
Really good.
So, I mean, that was just impressive in and of itself. So I'm not afraid about Denver now that I talk aloud about it. So I'm excited to see.
And so he's pretty good at not turning the ball over either. So he's pretty solid with that.
Yeah.
Not making bad decisions. But Jefferson comes back. Yeah, they're gonna be a problem, I think.
And they've been on this nice little winning streak. They're in a shitty.
They play us the following week
and a shitty division outside of Denver. I mean Detroit. So it's like shit. They definitely gonna get a playoff spot.
Oh yeah, but like long term though, could you kind of make a case for him to be the starting quarterback for the Vikings long term?
I think in the long term, meaning the next year,
and they draft a quarterback,
you got more time to find the right one.
Yeah.
So,
and he's gonna be cheap
if
too.
If you want to trade up this year, and now you have a transition quarterback for that guy, whether that takes a year, takes half a season, whatever it takes, you don't have to rush that guy to be the guy, especially if you're not picking the first two.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else would probably benefit from
like the JJ McCarthy's, right. the later guys.
Right.
Not Drake
May. JJ for sure would be a good one. Penix, obviously.
Yeah.
But Penix not really a creator.
We're kind of giving that big Phoenix energy.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Every time I see Michael Penix, I think of it.
Energy. Go give him that big Phoenix energy.
That shit was crazy.
That was wild.
But
told him to say that.
I don't know. But that shit was funny. It's gonna be a meme for a while. It's gonna follow him in his career. But no, yeah, I think Joshua Dobbs definitely. If another team's like, all right, we don't have a high draft pick, we have a good team that can potentially win. Just the quarterback position needs to shore up. Maybe Atlanta, maybe or another team.
But I think if obviously the Vikings get in the playoffs, they're not gonna have a top pick. So I think he's very easily given a tryout for next year as the starter, and I think they'll bring him back, and then it'll be a team friendly deal. They can re-sign Justin Jefferson,
get rid of Kirk because you get off that contract,
and then maybe you go get a running back because my man trash. Madsen ass, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, he's ass. He was playing the part for a little.
He's gone. I should drop his ass, bro. I'm cutting him.
He's gonna be in the waivers.
Nah, that nigga need to find a job.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But let's stay in the NFC North. Chicago Bears versus Detroit Lions. What are some of your predictions for this game? Might be a tough watch. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it will be. I think our defense is gonna be truly tested.
Yes,
because they're gonna try to run the fuck out the ball.
Montgomery and Gibbs, and their run schemes are good too. Like their play designs, Ben Johnson,
their talent,
offensive line is good. So
let's start there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how our run defense does against them because we've really shut down every team that's come in. Alvin Kamara, he didn't have too much work with the Saints against us. We've been really good. Chuba Hubbard, who was doing really good in the season, had 20 yards rushing against us. So I'm excited to see that rush defense. I want to see Montez Sweat continue to get after the quarterback. So I think going into this game, I feel like we're gonna lose, but I'm excited to see more improvement. And Fields coming back. These are great defenses he's about to play. Minnesota next week, Cleveland and Detroit again. So these are really good games to see if if there's any other chance that he's the quarterback or not.
Exactly. I think it'll be a better matchup than people might think.
At the back of my mind, I'm still like, hey,
But that's
we can't
only
win.
me being an optimistic
Yes,
Bears fan,
yes,
if I'm being honest, because I've been unrealistic. Seems like more than not, and it ain't no seem like it because we've been asked. So.
more than not. But no, I
So
like
yeah,
us.
Justin's gonna have to come in and make a difference.
Yes, if he plays like Denver and the Commanders, 4 touchdowns, he comes out there slinging. Brisker said he looked good in practice. Brisker, I sent you the message. You're like, all right, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what you say.
So I'm excited to see Fields get back out there, and hey, if he plays well and our defense continues to do what they've been doing, minus the Chargers game, if we continue to go out there and play at a high level, and we don't have our quarterback throw 4 interceptions or 3 interceptions or try to throw an interception every drive, I'm excited. My thing is though, when's the last time this team's fully healthy? Defense is playing well. Last year, a lot of games Justin Fields was playing good, but it just defense wasn't giving us those opportunities. We weren't able to. And then offensively now he has DJ Moore. DJ Moore is going to play better. Cole Kmet's going to do good, I think. Mm-hmm. So that run game needs to be there. Deontay Foreman, give him 20 carries. Give Herbert 10 or 11. Working back into that workload. The formula is defensively get after the quarterback, play well, and run the ball down Detroit's throat. And DJ Moore give him 15 targets.
Yeah, it's going to be the team who can run the ball and stop the run.
Yeah, and if we can do that, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears won. Because I'm Bears optimistic, like you said. I wouldn't be surprised if they won. It's going to take a great performance out of Fields. But if it happens,
yeah, but you're going to turn that bitch over.
Oh, yeah. I'll brace myself for it. But let's get to our other Chicago team, the Chicago Bulls. Potentially,
That ain't my team. I'm
you done?
A Milwaukee fan.
You ain't a Milwaukee Bucks.
No, I'm not. I was at the parade.
But no, yeah. So the Bulls, I guess it's just my team.
They need to close up shop, sell everybody for a discount because they keep holding on. Now, motherfuckers. If I had to guess, they didn't trade anybody because they didn't like the offers they got, and that's comes at no surprise. But this shit ain't gonna get better.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think the Knicks gave us.
We just gotta take what we can and start from scratch and build through the draft. We gotta get a D Rose.
Yeah,
another savior of the city and shit.
Yeah, I mean, and with some of the deals, you can get some great young talent you can build around, or even you move off of Levine and DeMar.
You move off of everybody.
That's the thing, though. Three. I'm about to tell you that's the thing. They're probably not because Zach LaVine is probably going to be the only one that gets shipped. They're going to keep DeMar and Vooch, bro. It's going to happen, bro. It's going to happen.
What are we going to get for LaVine?
The Lakers and Philly are the teams interested right now. D'Angelo Russell, probably we're gonna get him. Hachimura, the Chinese guy. Okay, Hachimura is nice. Yeah. In a bigger role, he'd probably be a 20 points game kind of guy. Hachimura. Yeah. I don't want Reeves. No, but yeah. Would you want Reeves?
I like his game.
He's been struggling lately, though. Right. But no, to be honest,
I like
Lakers and Philly are the two teams interested right now. But it just sounds like they want to keep Vooch and DeMar. They're gonna just try to get rid of Levine and get some pieces that can help compete. But if you're gonna get rid of Levine, there's no fucking point in keeping DeMar and Vooch. Trade their asses.
Get everybody out.
Trade Patrick Williams too.
Everybody, bro.
Everybody gotta go.
Restart because we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and we're paying motherfuckers bread like we competing for East type playoff runs. And
we're gonna be the fucking playing at best.
No, we're not. We're gonna be on the outside looking in.
Yeah,
that shit fried.
Yeah, so I don't get the whole thing of trying to potentially keep DeMar. DeMar need to be on his way out too. He's getting older too. No, this
like that same thing with Vooch. He's an older veteran.
And he don't play no fucking defense either.
Now, I don't know. They just don't want to take an L or sell at a loss, but it's time.
You know who else is gonna be gone too?
Who?
Caruso probably.
Yeah.
He's somebody that you could get a lot from too. A lot of
Sure.
championship teams. Milwaukee is a team that's interested in Caruso. They're like that would be huge. But this guy, he said, hearing from an inside source that this Bulls team will look a lot different. The roster will be a lot different come next month. So that's the change is coming. It's coming.
Fingers crossed.
You're praying on the downfall. What are the downfalls here already?
We're down. We're just not. We're trying to.
We're not down.
trying to survive and shit. And we it's just like, all right, go ahead and rest.
Yeah,
close your eyes, Johnny.
With the fingers up. But yeah, it's getting bad. So hopefully, hopefully the Bulls do those moves and get rid of these guys, and we start from scratch, tear it down. That's what we want to see because I'm tired of seeing these fucking Bulls, blow leads. DeMar and Levine are like 5 from 20 from the field, and we lose to the fucking Thunder. We're losing to these other teams that we have a good roster, but we're just not getting it done. This big three too, Vooch, DeMar, and Levine are like the only big three to have a negative net rating together. They're terrible together on the floor, apparently. So it's just bad. It's a shit show.
Who calls them a big three?
Hey, at first, we traded for Vooch, and then we got DeMar DeRozan. I was like, okay, this is great. DeMar's coming to Chicago. We got Lonzo. We were first in the East, and now Lonzo can't walk and shit. Now
he's sitting on chairs and standing.
No, he's sitting.
That shit was funny.
It was funny. It was funny, but
nigga, go show us you on the court hooping, bro. We don't want to see you sitting in the motherfucking chair.
It's just been crazy. Bulls, they're going down the drain, but hopefully, we rebuild and start that process. Hopefully, the Bears can get a win so we can have something as a collective Chicago sports fans. So we got something to be happy about. This city is going down the drain. All our teams suck. The Blackhawks, though, they got the Wembanyama of hockey, though.
That's true.
He's nice already. He's hooping already. So that's promising. But yeah, that's all we got. That's all we got for the show. Stay updated with our content. Make sure to like and subscribe. Continue following up with our, Twitter, Instagram posts will be coming out there all the time. YouTube Shorts, all that. We're gonna be posting everywhere. Stay updated with that. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. As always, peace. Now the Chicago Bears coaching staff has to be the worst in the whole NFL. Worst I've ever seen. Eberflus and this team is 5-20. When Eberflus is in charge. But the thing about this coaching staff is we can't stack W's. Every time we have a good victory, another victory doesn't follow it. Ever. 0-5 in chances to get a winning streak going.